A few years ago, I almost made a huge mistake when I was going through a phase of rebuilding my life, figuring out what I wanted, where I was going next. And 7 months ago, I almost made that mistake again when, in the space of a few months, I turned 40, which always brings a few questions for many people. I had my third child, which added a bit of time and energy pressure. And then I lost my closest ally and business partner through suicide. And it was these 4 questions that allowed me to navigate that time and rebuild myself through that process. They saved me time, they saved me energy, they saved me from making some terrible decisions. They're the 4 questions I'm going to walk you through right now in this simple video to stop you almost making the mistakes I made and to help you navigate a period where you're rebuilding and moving through there. Because ultimately, when people feel burnt out, when we feel lost, when we feel a bit directionless, we often think we've got to throw everything out, start from scratch and rebuild from there. But that is not how rebuilding often looks. In fact, that kind of mindset around it can lead you further away from rebuilding, can lead you further away from where you want to be and keep you stuck in a bit of a hole. And so let's get to the 4 questions, let's walk through them and let's see how they can help you. So the first thing to ask yourself is, what am I keeping? What in my life is actually working? That can be from your habits something that you have. It can be from people. It can be different areas of your life where you think, actually, this is working for me. I'm going to keep this. And one of the most useful things you can do is write down. In fact, write down these 4 questions as I'm, kind of spieling them out to you, which is, what's working for me? And there will be things that are working. And, an old associate of mine used to say all the time, don't let one bad make it all bad. And how often do we do that? How often is one area of our life maybe not where we want it to be and we let it bleed into all the other areas and convince ourselves everything's got to go? The key to rebuilding, in my experience, in my own life and working with hundreds and even to thousands of people who are trying to rebuild an area of their life or their whole life, is to focus on creating an anchor, create some stability to build off. And you will have areas of your life, be it habits, be it people, be it just, be your body, be it your mindset, be it your business, your job, your relationship. You'll have areas that are working right now. Rather than trying to rip it all up and start again, save some energy and focus on keeping them as they are. So the question is for you, what is working? What can you keep? What are you going to keep through this period of rebuilding? Because not all rebuilding is, oh, my life's falling apart, I have to rebuild everything. Sometimes rebuilding is, I want to break through to that next level for myself. What does that look like? So keep what is working. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, I think is the saying. Keep the stuff that's clicking for you. Which brings me to the second question, which is, what am I going to stop? If I'm keeping some stuff, there's probably some stuff I need to stop doing. And that can be a tough question, but we often know the answers. What do I need to stop doing? And that can be habit-wise. That can be in your day. You may have picked some habits. You think, this is not helping me. It may be people. You think, actually, these people aren't my people. It can be big decisions like an area of work. But what do you need to stop doing? What is costing you energy? What is costing you happiness? What is costing you time? What's costing you focus? Because in a period of rebuilding, we have to cut the drains. And that doesn't have to be a forever decision, but it certainly has to be for a now decision. So a quick example, one of the things I noticed when I was in that period of rebuilding, you may have done this, I spent a lot of time on social media all of a sudden, unlike me. And I was scrolling and I'd see lots of people in their season of flying along. And there was me rebuilding. And at that point, it used to frustrate me. It's like it wasn't useful. So I invested in a great device called a brick and I was like, I'm getting off social media. My social media has crept up. It's not useful. It costs me time. It costs me energy. It's costing me focus. It's distracting me. Let's cut out all noise. And so a good prompt for you in the stopping stuff is, what's the noise? That can be a good prompt. The second thing is, what's not working for me that I need to stop? Think about that. And the third thing can be, I've got to stop chasing this goal that doesn't interest me anymore? Maybe it's a slightly bigger thing. But when I ask you what needs to stop, you probably have a few things in your head that immediately jump out. They are the things. Work on stopping those. and create little rules, create little things that help you stop them. Because that's going to free up the time, energy, and space to do what's next. So the third thing is, what am I pursuing? If I can answer, these are the things I'm keeping, these are some things I could do with stopping, what am I pursuing? Now that doesn't have to be, you have to have your life figured out. It just means to me right now. What am I pursuing? For a long time, post, the 40 period where I had that tough time of like life for me a little bit, it was like, what am I pursuing? One of the things I was pursuing is I want to figure out what I'm going to do next. My life is great, it was working. What am I going to do next? And so the pursuing element was, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I need to work on that. Maybe it's your health, and you're like, God, I got to get on top of my health. That's a big thing for me. Maybe it's you want a new relationship. Maybe it's you're trying to move into a new career, a new job. Maybe you know exactly what you want. Great, put it down. But we have to know, what am I pursuing? Can I put my focus into? What can I do that's meaningful, purposeful? What can I work towards? Because when we're trying to rebuild, yes, we've got to keep some foundational stuff, remove some stuff that's draining us, but have a focus. And you'll be happier when you know what matters, when you know what's important. And some tips, pick one thing. When you're rebuilding, you don't need to chase 20 rabbits. Pick the one thing that will make the biggest difference, the one aim. Again, it's not a forever thing. It can just be this season. Think about that. What are you pursuing? Can you answer it? What is most important to you right now? We need to know that. We need to be able to answer that question. Now, the fourth thing I love to add in here is, what am I exploring? And this is an important question. Once you know what you want to keep, what you want to stop, once you know, hey, here's some stuff I'd like to pursue, this is what matters, have a side quest, have something you're exploring, because curiosity is crucial in a period of rebuilding. For example, when I went through my first period of rebuilding, it was my health. My health had kicked in, I had these inflammation problems, I tried lots of things, I was like, I'm going to go explore some different areas. I'm going to explore DNA. I'm going to get my DNA done to tell me about methylation and inflammation. I wasn't putting all my hopes on it, I was exploring it. Now today, that is a huge part of all of our 90-day coaching accelerators, to get genetically lined up with what people need. It was so powerful in solving the issues I had. I've explored music and piano many years ago. Maybe I'll try and learn how to play the piano. That's become a huge part of my life. Not all little experiments become like a thing, but the mindset of, I'm going to experiment with that. I'm going to explore that with no pressure. Means if it doesn't come off, oh well. If it does, amazing. Most of the big breakthroughs in my life have come from a little experiment, a little side hustle, a little thing which I'm looking at, be it in my health, my mental performance, my business. It's always panned out that my biggest breakthroughs come from exploration. And so in a period of rebuilding, it's a chance to explore things we wouldn't normally explore. And just get a couple of interesting things that you've always wanted to do, that you've always thought about. Give it a trial, give it 30 days, see what happens, get the feedback. It may well be the thing that catapults you to your next step, your next stage. So look, now you have the 4 questions. Think about them, maybe comment below, God, what one really hit out for you? Maybe comment below your answers if you are so inclined. But remember, if you want more of these videos, subscribe, like, and check out the next ones coming up, because once you started rebuilding and asking these questions, you want to get a hold on your health, your performance from a self perspective. And there's videos popping up that can help you do that right now.